I should do what?
You should do a book review of like.
No,
series.
I am.
Oh, you are?
I'm gonna do
good.
a reading vlog and like book review.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's really hot in here. But Hola vlog. Ashley and I just got our books of the month. It's our first month doing this. Ashley got Beach Read because she's been obsessed with Emily Henry lately. Go her. And then I don't think I've ever read a gothic fiction book, but this looked really interesting, and I'm really in. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I really want those spooky vibes. Spooky vibes. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my very first reading vlog and book review. So this is my October book of the month. It is called Starling House by Alix Harrow. So this is considered a gothic fiction, and so far I am about 66 pages in, and so far so good. My initial thoughts, I would say this is pretty different than any of my typical reads. So usually, like this entire year, I've basically only been reading fantasy novels, and most of them have a subplot of romance. And so this is very different, but I've actually been really enjoying it so far. Say in terms of the writing style, just because this detail in particular was a bit different than something that I'm used to, I think that the description style of everything, just in terms of the thoughts and the dialogue and everything is so extremely descriptive that at first it's kind of hard to follow. I feel like in the beginning it was just kind of like a huge jumble of words in my mind, but then once I started reading it more, getting into the plot and everything, I actually really enjoyed the description. I think me in general, I definitely do a pretty good job at like imagining things in my head, but for the most part it's kind of just like a breeze, you know, like I'm kind of just going through the motions and nothing super crazy happens in my mind. But this book in particular, considering it's so descriptive, I feel like it really engulfs me in the world that this plot is in and whatnot. So yeah, I've really been enjoying it so far. So I think I'm like 18% of the way done according to Goodreads, but so far so good. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep reading and then I'll give you an update soon. I totally forgot that I never explained the plot of this book. So basically, Starling House is a big, gothic looking Tim Burton vibes mansion in a city called Eden in Kentucky. And the main character is this girl named Opal, and she basically grew up having an obsession with this house. It's a small town. Everybody kind of has different stories to tell about the history of the family, the history of the house, that it's haunted, and the family's crazy and whatnot, and just like a lot of tragic things have happened surrounding this house, and she's always kind of had an obsession with it. And so, in a way, which I'm not going to say what way, she becomes more involved in this house. And at the same time, she is an orphan, and so is her little brother, and she is the older sister, kind of taking care of her little brother. So she does some shady stuff to help take care of him and whatnot, and help take care of herself. But it's honestly a really interesting book so far. I kind of feel like it's almost like I'm reading the history of like an actual town. Like I feel like this is besides certain details, this isn't historical fiction or anything, but I think just the stories surrounding the house seem pretty cool, and I feel like I'm reading the history on the town and whatnot, so it's cool so far. Hola vlog. Today is Saturday, November 4th. Welcome back to my reading vlog. It's been a while since I last filmed a video. I think it's been like probably a week. I'm also sorry if you hear any background noise or the washing machine going off. But I have about 70 pages left of Starling House. I'm gonna finish this right now in this sitting. And I told myself I would finish this before the end of October, but this past week with work was so crazy. Like not only work-wise, like I had like ended up staying later than usual basically every day this week, but also we had like social events, like 2 out of 5 days of work, and then on Tuesday I hung out with my friends. So like I've just been sleeping very late every night and like coming home not having time to do anything, but whatever. So I'm gonna finish this. I am currently on page 254, and honestly I feel like it keeps getting better. I feel like the first half of the book was not anything super exciting. It was more just like build up, but I did like all the background story and everything. Like it was enjoyable, but nothing like exciting or thrilling going on. But I would say the second half of the book, so much more went on, like developments in terms of like friendships, relationships, and just like everyone growing, I think, in terms of like personal development. For the most part, there's still some really shitty characters, but either way, I'm enjoying it. I would say it's somewhere between like a 4 and a 4.5. I would say it's more towards a 4.5, except for the fact that there's some lines in the book that are just a little cringy. Not overwhelmingly cringy, but just like every once in a while there's like a sprinkle of like a cringy line in there, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. But besides that, I really love the characters, even though they're not supposed to be people you love, but I really enjoy them. And yeah, so far so good. I'm back and I have officially finished reading Starling House by Alix Harrow. So, my rating, I was originally going to give it like a 4.25, but I didn't love the last 70 pages and just like how it all went down, how it ended. So I'm going to have to give it a 4 stars. But either way, 4 stars is still really good. I've read a lot of really good books that I would recommend that are 4 stars. Like, I would recommend this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like 90% of the time. Probably more like 95. But honestly, it was a really good book. The writing style, as I'd mentioned before, really good. There were certain parts of the book where the description was just so good, and I literally had like went back a few times and would like reread the thoughts that someone was having, whether it was Opal or the last living Starling family member. His name's Arthur. I just really enjoyed that descriptiveness that this book had. I would say I really enjoyed it because it got kind of, and I've mentioned this before also, that it got kind of juicy in the middle, and there was, in my opinion, an unexpected subplot of romance, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. And I think it ended not as I expected, and I didn't enjoy it that much, but overall I did really enjoy the book. So I do recommend October Book of the Month.